fashion tape, I feel like, is a must in every person's wardrobe because you can fix anything with fashion tape. And it was my second competition and I won. Going to Paris, I am always on the hunt for some really unique vintage finds.
The fashion podcast where we delve deep into our guests' wardrobes, finding out their favourite fashion pieces and the stories behind them. This week's guest is Jackie Dacanay. We had a brilliant chat about balancing individuality in a corporate workplace, her incredible love of a Hermes bag, and also the most amazing pair of Jacquemus boots. If you are listening to this week's episode rather than watching, do head over to the Pinterest where I'll make sure to put a picture up of these incredible boots because you definitely need to see them. Jackie, thank you so much for being a guest on Off the Hanger. It's very lovely to chat with you today. I've instantly spotted a gorgeous red lip and a gorgeous red handbag, so I cannot wait to get to talk to you about those things. But have you always been a big lover of fashion? Is it something that's very important in your job?
Well, the first part of your question, I have always been a fashion lover, yes. And not just fashion, but makeup, all of it, travel, lifestyle, just in general. And I think it's rooted in my curiosity and just wanting to learn. And it did start as a child. And I think it was inspired by, honestly, my family. They're from Hawaii, and I'm a professional hula dancer. And what comes with that is the makeup, the costumes, and a lot of glamour, I've realized. So I think that's where it comes from.
That's incredible. I love that. And now, for the second part, do you take that into your job? Obviously, you are a very stylish woman, which is why I asked you to be a guest on the podcast. But do you find that fashion is something you use as a tool within the workplace?
I do. It's self-expression. For me, I don't consider myself to be creative in a traditional sense, but that's where my creativity comes out is through my self-expression and in clothes, hair, makeup, accessories, and I think it has also been an opportunity working in a corporate environment to play with using tools like clothes, makeup, and all of that in a corporate environment where there are guidelines and and also being that I work in a luxury environment, so it's nice to combine that fun with a bit of luxury.
And is there an earliest childhood memory? You mentioned being very much inspired by your family. Have you got something from your childhood that you remember?
I do, and it ties back to being a professional dancer and costumes. I have actually a dress that obviously I didn't wear as a child, but it's sort of a sample of just how ornate and detailed it is. So you have this lace portion here, and they're all handmade. Because when you're performing on stage in a competition, you don't want to wear anything that anyone else is wearing, and there's very strict guidelines on what you can and can't wear. So I have a closet full of dresses of just velvet and all of these really great fabrics that are tailored to me and represent a moment in time. So yeah, it's incredible. I have so many costumes like that. I'm really fortunate.
And I imagine that there's memories tied into each one. You remember the competition, you remember how well you did, how successful it was, how you felt in that moment.
Yes, nervous tears, definitely. Lots of nervous tears, but that one that I actually just showed you was it was a goal in life to compete in a very specific competition, And that competition, there's groups from all over the world. You have to be invited. So it's very exclusive. And it was my second competition, and I won actually. So I was able to call myself an international hula competition winner, which was one of my dreams come true. And I was able to do it with my family, which is also really cool.
That's incredible. Congratulations. A champion, no less.
Thank you.
What's the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
So I had this vintage Chanel blazer from the early 2000s, and I got it pre-loved. So it's this tweed long sleeve blazer, zip up, and I really like the detail on the sleeves. You can see there it has the Chanel buttons in black and gold. And I'm almost afraid to wear it because I feel like it's going to melt. It's vintage. So it comes out every once in a while. It has a very slight shoulder pad also. I love a good shoulder pad. So this is probably my oldest, most delicate piece.
But she's an absolute timeless classic. You could have said it was
Absolutely.
from the 60s, you could have said it was from this season. It's just such a timeless piece, you just would never date it.
I can literally wear it with anything. And I feel like 2000s is not really that old, um it's certainly so intricate, and it's Chanel. I'm afraid to just breathe around it.
There's definitely no eating or drinking that happens whilst that dress is
Anywhere near.
on.
Yes. No hugging, nothing.
Nothing. There's like a 10-meter radius around you of a safe zone, and no one else is allowed within that space.
Exactly.
I imagine that gets a lot of compliments. What would you say is the most complimented piece in your wardrobe?
Yeah, I have this Sandro short set actually, and it's really cool because first of all, I can wear it together, but I can also wear it separately. So just this long sleeve button up collared shirt with a pocket here, and it has crystals all over it, which is my favorite part. And I love pink. So I can wear this with just a pair of trousers or together. It comes with a pair of shorts also. Um, so you can dress it up, dress it down. It has drawstring. It's super comfortable. And I always do a little bit of a French tuck with it. So I think this is always complimented because it's comfortable, it's easy, um, loose fitting, the color, the crystals, and not something you see all the time.
Yeah, it's just so fun. The colour's great. It's really vibrant. But then when you add in the fact it's got all those crystals on it as well, they didn't need to put that there, but the fact that they have, I'm totally here for it. It looks brilliant.
Exactly. Sandro and crystals go hand in hand. I love it.
They definitely do. Now, what is the most expensive piece in your wardrobe? You do not have to share if you do not want to. But what is the priciest purchase in there?
It's going to be my Hermes Kelly in Rouge from 2014. It also has a long strap too, but this was something that I always dreamed of owning, was very specifically a red Kelly. Honestly, it could have been in any other it could have been made in any other year, but I do like the leather. You know, I don't have to be so delicate with it. It is the slouchier style versus the box Kelly. So it does give it a little bit more of a casual feel. So I literally wear this everywhere with anything. And obviously, it's really spacious. So I can put loads of stuff in there or not. Yeah, and I just, as you can probably tell, I love color and I love red. I feel like red goes with everything.
Ugh,
So this is
it's
my
just
most
fabulous.
expensive.
And it is such a moment. You're completely right. That's just going to go with everything. Whether it's a night out outfit, you're going to somebody's wedding, you're going to a business meeting, you're just going for lunch with friends. That is the moment.
Exactly. Jeans, dress it up. Either way, it's such a dream country, but also an incredible investment, I feel.
What's the newest piece you've got in your wardrobe?
Newest piece is going to be these Jacquemus boots, knee-high boots. And what I love about this is it has the two different textures. So it has a bit of a reptile type of texture here, and then it's white leather here. I like the toe. It's very comfortable. The heel is actually not too high too, so I can literally trek around all over the city with them. And because of the way that it hits just below my knee, there is a little bit of a slouch here, which I really like. And then the heels are different. So there's the square here, and then these are a round heel. And it was really cool. Jacquemus just opened their first store in New York, so I was able to go to the opening, and I knew exactly what I wanted because I had seen these online and they had my size, so it was perfect.
They're so cool. They've got quite a like 60s mod vibe to them with the black and white. I think it's really cool. And then when you tie in those really unique heels that are different to each other, they're just what a show-stopping piece.
Absolutely. I haven't stopped wearing these since I got them, so I love them.
They're a very, very good buy. I like them a lot. Are you quite sentimental about the pieces in your wardrobe?
I can be. I think that it's also because I'm very thoughtful when I shop. I do have a mix of some fast fashion as well as some timeless pieces, but I'd say in the last few years, I've been very thoughtful about when I travel because I'm fortunate to travel all over the world. But I also do a bit of research on the pieces that I do buy, and I am very particular about where I buy something. For example, if I'm going to Paris, I am always on the hunt for some really unique vintage finds. I think there's also an element of uniqueness that I'm after too. I don't necessarily want to have the same things that everyone else has.
I think that's very apparent in the pieces you've shown us so far. I really like that you're very individualistic in the pieces that you buy. Is there a piece that's your most sentimental?
One of my sentimental pieces is actually this motorcycle jacket. And for a few reasons, it was another life goal to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And so I did that just a few years ago. And I'm not sure if anyone has the same experience, but learning how to do terrifying things as an adult can be even more terrifying versus learning them as a child. And I think that learning how to ride a motorcycle it activates a different part of your brain that not everyone has. And so once I finally was able to learn how to ride, I got my first motorcycle jacket, and it's actually by a female owned brand. Oftentimes, motorcycle gear is built for males. And I was really excited to find this female brand. It's called At Wild. And so it's tailored to a female body. And I love it. I sometimes wear it even when I'm not riding my motorcycle. So, yeah.
Oh, it's very cool. I love the story of that. I love the idea of just in adulthood going, what should I do that I haven't done yet that's going to terrify me, but will be brilliant once I get through it?
Exactly. And, one of the hardest parts is I'm so short. I'm 4'11". And so one of the scary parts is that you traditionally have to be very tall to ride a motorcycle. So I was eager to see if I could do it being so short, and turns out I can. So
Well, I'm very pleased. That's very cool. I imagine I've got just the image of you in that very cool jacket with the Kelly and its long strap slung across your
yeah,
body, and what a
exactly.
vibe. The Jacquemus boots on. She's just pulling up. She's going to whip her hair out the helmet. It's going to be glorious.
Oh, I love that image.
What is the piece in your wardrobe that most sums you up?
I'd say it's this Gucci blazer pants set. So it comes with a set of high waisted, wide leg trousers, and it's subtle, but it's also eye catching at the same time. I like a balance of that. And again, I've never seen anyone wear. I do know that Gucci does these sets in a variety of different colors, and if I could, I would get them all because their tailoring is just so impeccable and it fits so well. But I like that it's also versatile, so I can obviously wear the blazer on its own or the trousers on its own. And I can dress it up, dress it down, wear it for every occasion. And it's classic. So I think it represents me all around.
It's a really lovely piece. It's got that beautiful kind of classic tailoring, the highlight of the gold buttons that just really sparkle and catch the light. It's fun. I think there's a lot of this in your wardrobe that you have this kind of element of fun that runs throughout. Nothing is kind of minimalistic and boring. Everything has got that kind of interesting element to it.
Exactly. And it's comfortable. I could literally do so many things in that. I also feel like I'm addicted to blazers. So, but yeah, I don't know if that will ever change.
Can't beat a good blazer. I love a good blazer. I think it's the versatility
Right?
of them.
It goes with everything, literally everything.
And it's about the shoulders and the cut, and do you know what I mean? Having a good shoulder pad in there, and a nice shaping and the tailoring. Just cannot
Yes.
beat a good blazer. Cannot beat it. Now,
Yes.
do you ever fall foul of a wardrobe malfunction or a fashion faux pas? And would you like to share?
Oh, so many.
In a safe way. It's okay.
But I think I would. What comes to mind is well, shirts like this, for example. So I think oftentimes when you have a button-up collared shirt and oftentimes shirts they're tailored for just a general size, and so chest wise there's always some risk of gaping right here. And fashion tape, I feel like, is a must in every person's wardrobe because you can fix anything with fashion tape. So regardless if you're wearing something underneath, just a bit of fashion tape in between that space and sticking it together, you're not at risk for flashing people with your chest. I think there's that, and then I think there's also static spray. When you're wearing a bit of silk and some tights or nylons, just spraying the heck out of the fabric with some anti-static spray is always something that is in my closet.
It's such a good tip. They are really, really good tips. I think when you're aware of where you might fall down, I think it's really good that you can have this kind of stock amount of things in your wardrobe. As a stylist, I'm very lucky I have my kit at home. So I can just raid my kit where I'm like, oh, I need a safety pin, I need a bit of this, I need a bit of that. But I think it's a good thing for every wardrobe to have these little essential pieces that just make all the difference.
Absolutely. I mean, those are staples that I keep in my wardrobe, in my luggage, in my purse, in my office, everywhere.
Now, do you have a favourite pair of shoes? Obviously, other than the beautiful Jacquemus boots.
This was so hard, but I did narrow it down to my YSL platform sandals.
They're so good.
Um, like I mentioned before, I am I have a height deficit, so I literally tailor all of my pants to these platforms, and I've had them for years and years. it's wood on the bottom. They're super comfortable because they're platforms. I know people look at them and they gasp, but because they're flat, there's not much discomfort. And then leather on top in terms of um, the foot. And yeah, I wear them with everything: pants, dresses. They give me the height that also helps with some pants where I don't have to tailor them. So that's amazing also. But yeah, definitely. I should probably get another pair because I feel like one day they'll break and then I'll just be devastated. They don't make them anymore.
How high are the heels on those?
I mean, they must be maybe 4, 5, maybe even 6 inches. But yeah, I mean, I love Saint Laurent shoes. They're so intricately made and they last forever.
Yeah, the
The quality is
quality of
amazing.
them is exceptional. They're always really, really good. Now, is there a dream fashion item that you're currently lusting after? It doesn't have to be practical, it doesn't have to be, you can have it irrespective of cost or availability or practicality. What would you have?
I dream of owning another Hermes bag, specifically a Birkin 40. And I think it goes back to just I'm practically speaking, there a Birkin 40 is big. You can put a laptop in there, you can probably put a small animal in there, but in other words, because I am a traveler and I commute, so I like to have everything with me. I think the Birkin 40, which is so, I mean, it's hard to get a Birkin just in general, um, or any Hermes bag, but that's been my dream for quite some time right now.
Do you know the colour and leather style you'd have?
I really am not picky about the leather, but in order of top color that I would want, I go back and forth between a red because I do feel like that goes with everything, or a natural color. So like a tan color. I cannot get another black bag. I have way too many black bags, so that's my logic with black, or like a deep plum, a deep red, or like a deep blue. I think those would go with everything.
Yeah, it sounds perfect. And to finish on, do you have a piece of fashion advice that you would have given your younger self?
It's a great question. I love this question. And what goes on in my head is working for a corporate company, there are often very strict guidelines. And when I reflect back, because I've been with the company that I've been with for 20 years, I do think that not conforming, because fashion is a form of self expression and has been something that I've discovered is deeply rooted in self expression. I think not conforming to anyone's standard really is advice that I think could apply to anyone, including myself.
I think that's really good advice. Thank you so much for being a guest on Off the Hanger. It's been really lovely to chat with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, please remember to follow us on socials at Off the Hanger Official.